my name is Saif, and in this video I'll be going over the installation of the Sprint Optimizer plugin. There are three websites that you want to have access to. This access is granted by Dr. Sajjadi, so you must ask him for access. The three websites are the Azure DevOps website, the Sprint Optimizer Heroku instance, and the Test Jira instance to test your code on. The Azure DevOps and the Heroku are the websites that you'll have to ask Dr. Sajjadi for access, which you can do on this Gmail. And the test instance that our group used is the link right here, summer20sprintoptimizer.atlassian.net. You can sign up for free and make any new URL or instance on Jira and share that link with the rest of your group so that you guys can all work on the same thing. This will be used to test the plugin, and once you're set up, you'll be able to refresh this page, and every time you save some changes to the code in the editor, you'll be able to see the changes that you made on the plugin. So before we get started, you also want to have node.js installed on your computer, which is on the website right here. You can install it for Windows, Mac and Linux. You also need to have npm installed, and you can check if you have both npm and node installed by using these two commands, node-f and node-v and npm-v. So now in order to get the code that you'll be working on, you have to go to the Azure DevOps website and clone the repository, which is right here in the repo section in files. And when you click on the clone button, which is right here, and you then click on the HTTPS URL. You then use this URL with the git clone command in the terminal. I'll be using Visual Studio Code, but any other editor would work. If asked for any type of credentials when you're cloning, you have to click on this generate git credentials button and use those credentials. So when you go into your Visual Studio, you would have to do git clone and then paste that link into there. I already have it cloned, so I won't be doing that. And then once you have it cloned, you have to CD into the Sprint Optimizer. I'm already CD'd into it, but you would have to go into SP20 Sprint Optimizer, and then when you're in there, you do npm install to install the dependencies. You could also install them manually if you prefer that. So on my machine, I already have it installed, so it's going to go by much quicker. Also in the Azure DevOps website, there's a wiki in the overview section, which is over here. You go into the wiki, and in this wiki you can see a step-by-step guide on how to install it as well, if you'd rather read it on how to set it up. And also in the wiki there's a link to a website that you'll need to get the credentials for the API password, which is right over here. And then you click on create API token, and it'll generate a password that you'll need to use. You'll first have to label it. You can label it whatever you want. Create. And then you want to copy this code and save it somewhere because you won't be able to see it again. So you close that out. And then the next thing you want to do is go to the credentials-sample.json file in the VS Code, which is going to be in the git ignore over here. And then what you want to do is copy the entire file, paste it, and then rename it to credentials.json, which is going to be in the git ignore, which is why you want to have the correct spelling and everything for that. And then when you're inside of the file, the credentials.json file, you can now edit these fields. For you, it's going to look like this. Since it's fresh, I already have my credentials in here. But basically, you want to use the URL that you got from the Jira that you created, and then you want to put your URL in here, and then your product's going to be Jira, and then the username, your email that you created the Jira with, and the API token that you created. You want to paste it onto here, and then you save that file. You're going to save the file, and now you're ready to npm start. So you want to do in the terminal npm start, and it's going to establish the connection to your website from the URL over here from your credentials.json file. It's going to register it, and then once you go on to your actual Jira instance, you can refresh the page, and then you'll see resource allocation and sprint overview on the left side, and it works. So that basically covers how to install the plugin and get started working on the project. And thank you for listening.